Attention, attention. All hands on deck.
Director Fury,
Yeah.
we just have word that a giant alien army is coming through a sky portal that Loki has just opened up over New York. I think this is a good time to call in Agent Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, sir.
No, Agent Gregory, I think we're just gonna... we put up these Avengers, so
Okay.
I think we're gonna let them handle it.
I guess we'll... Sure.
You don't worry, son, those Avengers can handle anything we throw at them.
Attention, attention. All hands on
Agent
deck.
Fury! Agent Fury! You know those Avengers that you had set up? Well, they made a robot that's now making a giant city lift off the ground and it's gonna crash down into a meteor and destroy the planet! We definitely should call in Carol Danvers, sir. Captain Marvel could punch that right out of the sky. I think it's a foolproof plan.
No, I think we should save her for a real emergency. I mean, this is... The Avengers... Yeah, the Avengers can handle this. It's... Don't worry, Gregory, it's all cool.
Okay, sir.
It's all cool.
I'll get the helicarrier ready.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm so glad it's my day off and I don't have to deal with whatever's going on in Wakanda. Let's see what's on the TV. If Fury doesn't call in Captain Marvel for this, I'm gonna kill him.
It's laser time and we're gonna do a review. Yes, we're gonna review. We'll talk about movies and comics too. Let's all go watch the review.
Hello everyone, I am Lazy Dude. Welcome to another Lazy Dude review. Today we are reviewing Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. Nick Fury, played by, of course, Samuel L. Jackson. Also starring Jude Law, and that's actually all about that's all who I know. So the story of Captain Marvel is about this woman by the name of Carol Danvers, although she doesn't know that that's her name, as she's a soldier for the Kree Empire by the name of Veers, and as she's battling against the Dark Skrull Empire, she lands on Earth and has to unravel her dark, convoluted past, and Scene tries to ask herself who she is and finds out that in the process. Along the way, she teams up with Nick Fury to try to figure things out as he's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Okay, so here's the thing. Captain Marvel, for some reason, it's gotten a lot of, over-hate and over-praise right off the bat. And I don't know why. Now, some people might say, well, it's because people are being sexist, duh. Yeah, but I don't exactly feel that's the case, because I didn't feel this much of a backlash against Wonder Woman. But then you got other people praising it as, oh, super amazing, super good. And so some people are bashing it, some people are loving it. And where do I fall in the movie? I think it's a good movie. Look, when it comes down to it, here's the thing. When I was looking at Captain Marvel, I wasn't even caring if the movie was going to be a good movie or not. It's a weird thing to say, but it wasn't. What I was worried about is whether or not I would like Carol Danvers or not. Or at least Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. Because if I didn't like her character, and then in Endgame she plays a big role in that, then I'd be like, it wouldn't feel good, because it feels like here's the one new person that hasn't had any interaction with the group up to this point, and you don't even like her. Fortunately, I'm happy to report that is not the case. I think that Brie Larson killed it as Captain Marvel, and all mostly with her face. She always has such a pleasant, and I'm not saying just because she's beautiful, I'm saying her expressions. She's always comes across as fun, energetic, always in the scene, always moving with the story, that there's never a point where she's just relaxed and boring looking. She's always energetic into the film, and I think that her character, and it's always risky when you have memory loss as this character has. It's like, well, what type of character are you even going to portray? But I think they really do a good job, especially her portraying someone who doesn't know who she is and is trying to unravel her path while still having a duty to her current memories. It's kind of funny because she, as I say, I think she kills it. I loved her character. I thought she was really great. Even when the writing became a little bit more passé, a little bit more mediocre by the book near the end, where I saw that coming, saw this coming. I didn't mind it because I had fun with her. There's just moments where it's just like, oh, I know exactly where this is going, and I'm okay with it because I'm having fun watching her as the character in these moments. And I think that's kind of where the movie's gonna really rely on people who like her as a character. I think that she can carry you through some of the more cliched and typical moments that these Marvel movies go through that you've come to expect. And I don't think this is a movie that is just like screw you men like Ghostbusters 2016 is, and I thought that some people thought that this movie was going to be. I don't think this is that. There's a couple of moments that kind of have that feel, but not exactly. And I'll get into that in the spoiler part of the review, because none of it is men are idiots, women are smart. It was more of a specific thing for this one character. We also have the Skrulls in this movie. I really like how they handle the Skrulls. You're never exactly sure who to trust or who you can be, who could be a Skrull at any moment. They have a really good job with that. It's really fun. The fight scenes are actually pretty fun too. They're a little quick. There's a few times where it's just like they go by. It's like the pacing isn't exactly great with them. And like there's some scenes like in the beginning where it's like she's getting chased by a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and I'm just like, none of these bullets can do anything to her. I don't feel any tension that she's not going to make it. And I'm pretty sure Nick Fury is going to make it because this movie takes place before all the other Avengers stuff. So I'm pretty sure he's going to make it. Now, as I say, like the story is pretty like basic and trying to recover memory and look through your past and stuff like that. It's pretty basic in that remarks. But as I say, I'm still with the character throughout the whole film. I still feel like she's good, and I think the story is actually pretty good because I laughed a lot during this movie. There was a lot of movies that got me laughing, got me going. It still has that Marvel charm. It's not as sharp as some of the more recent films. Like, it's not as sharp as Winter Soldier, Civil War, Ragnarok. It feels a little bit more of like above the Thor: The Dark World, but below I don't know, the first Iron Man. It's like there's so many. It's in that sort of area, but I don't mind too much, as I said, because I was just hoping that the character was going to be well enough for me. Now, the big thing, the one thing that I will say might be a little bit of a problem is that in the beginning, the pacing is a little bit too fast. I mean, it goes by really quickly. Like, it doesn't have any chance to establish the Kree homeworld. I don't even know what it would look like. It's like I can't even tell you what the Kree homeworld looks like because it just goes by too fast, and I don't know what everybody's talking about. And there's a boom, boom, boom. They go to here, go to here, go to here, go to here, and now we're on Earth, and now we hear, hey, here's Nick Fury. And it's just like, whoa, 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 slow up a little bit, man. I don't even know what you're really talking about. You get what I mean? So even though this movie has a few cliches and a few things that are pretty by the book, none of them really bother me. They're not cliches that, like, they're cliches that I could see coming, but they're not cliches that I'm like, oh, why would you do that? Because the character doesn't act stupid. That's the thing. It's like whenever a character does something, but that thing that they do is really stupid, don't like that. I don't like that at all. If a cliche works for the story and the character's not acting stupid, I can roll with it. But if a character makes a character look even more stupid, then that I can't really roll with. So yeah, I actually just want to get into the spoiler part of the review. I know this movie just came out, so spoiler warning if you haven't seen this movie yet and you want to. This is where you're going to end it off. So I'm going to quickly give it a rating. I think despite the movie's high praise, I don't think this is the best Marvel movie ever made. I think it's a good Marvel movie. Despite this movie's angry hatred at it, I don't think it's the worst Marvel movie ever made. I think it's a good movie. That's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I think that the thing that really stands out about it, I love Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. She's really great. I think that her character is really good. I like the Skrull stuff. I like the way that they handle her trying to unravel her past. I think that with her character, story elements a little bit by the book, a little bit cliched, blah, 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 blah. And there's one element that I'm like, this doesn't make sense in the timeline. I'll get to that a little bit later, but everything else I think works fine. So now it's time for my spoiler part of the review. If you haven't seen this film and you want to, go away right now and then come back on another time. By the way, Marvel, I just want to give you a little bit of a clap for that That beginning logo with Stan Lee, oh, tugged at my heartstrings. That was really good. And I want to put, I put that in the spoiler part of the read because I don't want anybody else to know that going in. That was a really nice moment. But moving on from there, the twist that the Skrulls were really good people, I think that was an interesting twist because I kind of saw it coming, but I wasn't thinking that it was going to be exactly that. I thought it was going to be like a twist of, this is a war and both sides are doing evil things and she's going to put both sides at a standstill. And they kind of do that. Like the Skrull leader says, like, hey, I've done unspeakable things too. It's war. But it's not the same, you know. She's, you know, the Skrulls are clearly the good people in this scenario. And it's really interesting in that regard. But I think the thing that makes it interesting is that they've set it up in a way that they said, oh, we're all separated across the galaxy. So it's possible that maybe there's a group of Skrulls that have gotten bitter and twisted things through the war with the Kree, and they've decided to take matters into their own hands and become more evil down the line. So we still have room for evil Skrulls down the line, but these particular Skrulls are not exactly quote-unquote evil. I didn't see that the woman, her commander, was going to be named Mar-Vell. I thought for sure Jude Law was going to be Mar-Vell, mostly because like he denied that he was Mar-Vell, and then he confirmed that he was Mar-Vell. And so I don't know if that was just them messing with the people. I'm pretty sure I've read those. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I read that he confirmed that he was, and then he denied that he was. And so, yeah, but it was interesting that it makes it a little bit of a twist of, like, instead of, you know, that she wasn't taking her mantle off of another man, it was off of another woman. Not that that's, like, the main focus I think they were trying to do with it. I think they were just trying to make it her own thing. And I think it fit better for the story. Here's the thing, though. The scene that I was talking about, how it's like it's a little bit of a yay woman empowering thing, but I liked it more just because it was a smart thing to do. You got the scene. She's just taken out a whole Kree warship on her own. Then she comes back down to Jude Law's character, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I got nothing, man." You know, she's like, "I have my puny gun and my little gravity thing that is not going to do me any good." So he's like, "Yeah, I'm proud of you, but can you take me one-on-one, mano-a-mano, without your pop?" Bam! Bam! Shut him down. I'm like, yes! Yet now, the reason I say that's symbolic is then she says, "I don't have to prove anything to you." And I think that's a little bit more, that's a little bit of a woman empowering message. Like, you don't have to prove anything to any man to show yourself to be better or equal. You can just be who you are. The reason I like it is because it's not stupid. You know, it's like, if she had done that, I would have been like, no, that's stupid. I don't care what your honor or what he says, you're being manipulated into doing it. You know, but she doesn't do it because, like, I have the power. I'm not gonna. You don't. If you have the power, and a person saying, "Oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't be able to do that. Let's see if you can do it on my level." It's like, no, you don't need to come down to their level. Use your power. You know, she is super powerful. She doesn't need to demean herself to be lower than what she is in order for other people to look at her as an equal or better. The one thing I thought was kind of funny is that Nick Fury doesn't really do anything in this movie. I mean, you think about it, he follows Carol around. He doesn't take out any bad guys except for that one Skrull in the car. And you find out later that the Skrulls aren't the bad guys. So even that, probably the wrong thing to do. The cat kills a bunch of Kree people more than he does. And, okay, I could kind of see it coming. You know, when they do the whole thing where he gets in the car accident, like, how's your eye? And I'm like, that's not how it's going to happen. It's going to be something silly. And so they decided to have his eye scratched out by a space cat thingy, octopus thingy, whatever thingy. Yeah, space cat works. You know, it's space cat. You know, it works. It works as something, and I like that. It's just like, it's such a silly thing, but he'll never admit to what actually did it. Oh man, I just realized Carol could fill them in on it when we fill the Avengers in on it. But anyway, one thing that I want to say is there wasn't any actual mention of her being called Captain Marvel in this movie. And I'm going to think, here's my theory, listen to me out. I'm going to think Fury's going to have a file on her for the Avengers which he calls her Captain Marvel. This is my theory. It's like, as a little bit of a jab, as a little bit of a joke, because they were joking. She's like, no, it's Marvel. It's 2 words. He's like, well, Marvel sounds better. And so he's going to name her Captain Marvel, and she's going to go with it. She's not going to like it at first, but she's going to embrace it. That's my theory. I want to see if I'm right about that. Because I was right about the end credits sequence. I knew it. I was just sitting in the theater. I'm like, as the credits roll in, and I'm like, they're just going to show the cat puking up the Tesseract, aren't they? That's what they're going to do. That's all they're going to do. And then when it showed Fury's desk, I'm like, oh, I'm so right. Then the cat did it, and I yelled at the screen, thanks, Marvel, we needed that. Did not get as many laughs as I thought I would get. But anyways, that's the big thing that I didn't really think works. Why the Tesseract? Okay? Infinity War has already happened. We've already had the snap. You don't need to build up the Infinity Stones anymore, Marvel. There's no reason to. You didn't need to have the Tesseract because it now makes no sense. Captain America: The First Avenger. The Tesseract is seen to be falling from the ship and is then picked up by Howard Stark. Then the Avengers. We see it being taken by Loki from S.H.I.E.L.D. Howard Stark was one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. The fact that it goes from Howard Stark to S.H.I.E.L.D. is a logical road. It's a straight line. But now we need to go from Howard Stark to this other lady to then S.H.I.E.L.D. No, it has to go to S.H.I.E.L.D., then to this lady, then back. How would S.H.I.E.L.D. give a weapon like that up? How would anybody give something like that up? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I don't like that. The Tesseract's journey now doesn't make any sense to me. And as I said, we've already seen all the Infinity Stones. This isn't like the other movies where they were using these plot devices to build up to the Tesseract. You know? They were using these plot devices in the other movies because they needed to, because you needed to know what all the stones did in all the other Avengers movies. This one you didn't need to. You really didn't. Because why? Because we've already seen it. You don't need to build up to it anymore. You could have just had generic random powering device. It did not need to be the Tesseract. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Captain Marvel. I thought it was a fun movie. Not an amazing movie. I think the writing was still typical Marvel stuff. You know, had a few of the typical cliches. Back to normal Marvel villain fare. You know, it's like it wasn't really a great villain. I still don't even remember his name. I saw that Ronan the Accuser showed up for like a minute. Hot minute. But that was about it. Just like all the old Marvel movies, the original ones that started these off, the villain's not necessarily the best, but the heroes are done really well. I really like how they handled Nick Fury in this movie. I wish he got to do a little bit more, but beyond that, nothing else. And I thought Carol Danvers was a fully realized and fully likable character. That she didn't come across as too serious for somebody who's lost her memory, and not too brooding and not too just stubborn and stupid. And I like the conflict of interest that she's trying to recover her memories, but she's not really. She's trying to fulfill her mission as a Kree, and then when she finds out that all of that has been a lie, it challenges her, and then she just needs a little bit of encouragement, and she's good to go. She doesn't spend 10 minutes pouting, just a little bit of encouragement and go. I like that. I like that about the movie, and that's why I like Carol Danvers a lot in this movie. And I'm looking forward to see her work off of the other Avengers in the next films. So, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, everybody. I am Lazy Dude, so adios. Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.